Thank you all. I appreciate the opportunity to present my icebreaker speech as the first step in my dynamic leadership path. My name is Eric Stunda, and I joined Toastmasters to improve one of my weakest skills, public speaking. Public speaking is something I've frequently struggled with and have actively avoided for many years. Even writing this speech was a struggle, but I reminded myself of the most important lesson I've learned in my life. We need to embrace the struggles in life, big or small, as this is where true personal growth happens. I'm a big quote guy, and one of my favorite quotes is, "Every struggle in your life has shaped you into the person you are today. Be thankful for the hard times, they can only make you stronger." So, to illustrate this point, I would like to describe one of the most difficult periods of my life and at the same time provide some background on myself. In 2015, my life was going great. I was happily married. I had a son. My wife was pregnant with our second son. We had recently purchased a new home. I had started a real estate flip investment project. And finally, I'd moved into a senior management role at the company I was working for, which supplied raw materials to stainless steel mills. But in November of 2015, my life changed forever. My first son, who was 18 months old at the time, experienced abnormal heart rhythms, which quickly became an immediate issue. Over the following months, we spent many nights and days at Children's Hospital, including in the intensive care unit, as doctors tried to figure out exactly what was wrong. After they corrected his heart rhythm, he was asymptomatic, and my wife and I thought everything was fine. But in the end, my son was diagnosed with a rare heart muscle disease that does not currently have a cure. I'll never forget the day when the doctors explained to us that at some point in his life, he would need a heart transplant. The timeline of the transplant was completely unknown due to the rarity of the disease. It could be 1 year, it could be 10 years. As long as he was asymptomatic, it was very difficult to tell. Over the same period of time, the company I worked for started on a downward spiral. Our biggest customer was unsuccessful in negotiating a new labor agreement with their union workforce. After labor negotiations failed, our customer took extreme measures and locked out the union workforce. And without a union to run multiple plants for several months, this stalled our customer's business and in turn crippled ours. By the start of 2016, our company had serious liquidity issues. I had to lay off several people, and it looked like bankruptcy was inevitable. So now it's early 2016. My wife's still pregnant with our second child. My son's been diagnosed with a life-threatening heart disease, and the company I work for was heading towards bankruptcy. I started to struggle with depression and began working with a therapist. What I learned through therapy was to shift my focus on the things I can control instead of the things I cannot control. So I focused on trying to be a great dad and husband. I worked harder than ever at my job to help play a role in saving our company from bankruptcy. My wife and I started working directly with Children's Hospital Foundation to help raise money for investments in diseases without cures. Slowly, things started to improve as I learned to accept the struggles in my life and work to improve myself. Ultimately, this period taught me a lot. It taught me to first be mentally stronger. I now had the confidence that I could handle large amounts of stress at one time, which I didn't think I could before. It taught me to be financially stronger. At the time, I was concerned about losing my job, and it enabled me to look at my own personal finances, understand the importance of having a safety net, and in terms of budgeting our own finances to make sure we were saving as much as possible. The experience also served as a catalyst for me to get my MBA from Robert Morris University, which I did complete in 2019. And finally, I had a whole new perspective on life, basically. It reinforced my faith as well as showed me how critical it is to maintain a positive perspective in life as frequently as you can. It took time, but things started to improve. And today, my son is almost 7 years old, completely asymptomatic, and has no restrictions. He will still likely need a heart transplant at some point in his life, but it looks like that's many years away. We were able to save the company from bankruptcy through a joint venture buyout, where I now play a key role in serving as a senior manager, and we're more profitable than ever, actually. My wife's pregnant with our third child, which is another boy, and overall, I couldn't be happier. In late 2000, 2015 and early 2016, I never thought I would be thankful for those hard times. But I can honestly say today, those struggles and how I learned to deal with them have not only made me stronger, they've truly made me grateful as a person. I encourage everyone to lean into their struggles, be thankful for them, and have faith they will make you stronger. Thank you all for listening to my icebreaker speech.